Hi there, I'm Lyndon Thorpe. Welcome to Mindful Moments. Touch your heart every day. I'm here on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday, but that's probably Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday for you if you're on the East Coast of the States or the West Coast. So I'm in Japan, and therefore I'm 14 to 16 hours ahead of you. So look out for me on Monday evening, Tuesday evening, and Thursday evening if you would like to lay down a foundation of mindfulness to sustain your busy life. If you're here for the first time, welcome. You're making a great choice, investing a little time each day in your mindfulness will protect you against all of the nasty syndromes that are breaking out around us: burnout, imposter syndrome, poverty syndrome, etc. This will keep you in touch with your true nature, which is where we all need to be. We don't lead very natural lives. We've got further and further away from a natural way of being. And of course, that's how the world has developed. The developed world has developed. But it's really important to keep our connections with the earth and with the universe and realize that we are very special beings, superior beings. We are, we have consciousness, so that connects us to the earth and to the heavens. That's where we perceive the world around us. Without perceiving it, it wouldn't exist. So it's very important to come away from the intellectual mind of ideas and concepts, analyses, and so on, into the simple core of your unique being. There are 8 billion unique beings on this planet, and each of us is essential to the whole picture. Working with Australian Aboriginals, when I asked them how they saw human life or how they saw life on Earth, their reply was, "Oh, it's a giant tapestry, and every single being, every single species is a stitch in that tapestry. Some stitches are broken, some are missing, some are vibrant, some are outsized, some are too small, etc., etc." And this, I think, is a great analogy that practicing mindfulness can really recondition our stitch. It can make it vibrant and visible. And really, it's the only way we can achieve this. So with that in mind, let's get started. There are 2 things to begin with. Try to sit upright or stand upright, your spine vertical, the crown of your head going up into the sky, your feet flat on the floor, going down into the earth. Unless you have an injury or you're not so well, try not to lean. Try to sit independently of any chair or anything like that. And the second thing is that every session we do starts with a bell. When you detect the vibrations of my bell, it's easy. You just allow your eyelids to soften and then drop a little bit. But don't close your eyes entirely, because you may get sleepy. And mindfulness, contrary perhaps to what you have been told, is all about heightened awareness. Once your awareness is heightened, then everything else falls into place. And of course, later you'll feel the rest and relaxation as a byproduct of that. So, yes, stay alert during the whole session and you will benefit wildly. Okay, When you detect the vibrations of my bell, allow your eyelids to soften and fall, and keep your eyes open a little bit at the bottom end of your gaze. Wonderful. Okay, now it may take a little while for you to transition from your Okay, now it may take a little while for you to Sorry. It may take a little while for you to transition. Of course, the visual intellectual world is alluring and enticing with all of its firework displays. But here in the inner core, the quiet stillness of your inner core is where we're going to find your true nature. And this is the objective, really, of mindful practice, to get back into touch with who you really are, with your authentic nature. And of course, all of that begins with self-honesty. So as you come down into your core, you'll probably notice two things. The first, that you're very aware of your breathing. And that's wonderful. We breathe between 20 and 24,000 times every 24 hours. And yet we so rarely notice that. So here in the inner core, you can notice everything. So breathe with your breath. Conscious breathing has many benefits. Don't change anything. This is non-doing session. You don't need to do anything. I will guide you. So just breathe with your breath and notice how it feels at this point. By the end of the practice, it will have changed automatically as you begin to relax. And as we cut out the overwhelming visual stimuli in our lives. The second thing is that you may be tempted to generate words and even images as I speak. So just gently desist from that. You don't need to do it. I'll provide everything you need. Okay, let's get started with stage one. Undistracted, bring all the energy of your mind and your being and channel it into a strong, hot laser beam. Unique, penetrating. Gather it all together and funnel it down into an amazing laser beam. And then slide your laser beam outside your immediate environment, outside your windows and walls, ceilings, roof. If you're in a vehicle, outside, and if you're outdoors, as far afield as you can. We're going to project that laser beam in the outer environment as far afield as we can. Think about 10 miles, a 10-mile radius. So you're really listening into the distance. And begin to scan meticulously above, below, to the left, to the right, in front, and behind. You're scanning to detect vibrations, small, large, near, far, and when you encounter a vibration, pause, accept, and move on. No need for labels, no need for questions. None of that is necessary here in the inner core. As you scan, you are a tiger in a jungle, creeping through the undergrowth. Every single skin pore, every hair follicle is alert and alive to your environment. Any vibration could be the next meal, it could be a threat. And so animals, when they are hunting, are so alert. There's nothing more beautiful than that kind of engagement. Totally alert. Wonderful. Okay, let's move to stage 2. Slide your amazing laser beam inside your immediate environment, inside windows and walls, inside ceilings and roof. If you're in a vehicle, inside your vehicle. And if you're outdoors, create a 30-meter radius around you and scan up to that limit. And start to scan above, up into the corners of your space or into the sky, below, down under the furniture, into the corners of your floor, down into the earth, to the left, to the right, in front and behind. Detecting vibrations, small, large, near, far, up into your attic, down into your basement. And when you encounter a vibration, pause, accept, and move on. Keep scanning meticulously. A tiger in a jungle. Every vibration counts. And as you go on scanning in all directions in the inner environment, let me draw your attention again to your breath. Your breath is your single most valuable asset. It's unconditional, it's free, it's unpossessable. It's an extraordinary resource that every human being has access to. And we breathe no matter what. This is a tremendous focus for gratitude. Our breath is the beginning of everything. It's the beginning of self. Without it, we couldn't exist. So just use this moment now as you scan your inner environment to really appreciate your breath. And remember, gratitude is not a thought, it's a state. So it starts down in your gut. Feel it welling up. Feel that gratitude, and it may bring tears. It often does for me. Really fill your body with gratitude for the amazing relationship you have with the earth. The earth provides breathable gas, the only planet we know that does. And we, our bodies, are so evolved that we can efficiently process the oxygen, retain the nutrients, expel the unwanted, harmful components, and live, thrive. And this kind of bodily gratitude, state gratitude, as I call it, is really the foundation of everything in your life. Once you really allow it to come, your life will change. Different kinds of people will be attracted to you. Your whole life will change. You become magnetic once you are really in touch with your true nature. Wonderful. Let's move to the final stage. Slide the laser beam of your mind, now really hot and bright and penetrating, inside your body, right down to the tips of your toes, and start to scan methodically, detecting any vibrations, illuminating any darkness or tightness along the tops of your feet, along the soles of your feet towards the heels, and then up into your ankle joints. Make space inside them with the heat and light of your incredible mind, your incredible laser beam. Start to scan up the lower leg, little by little, methodically. When you encounter a vibration from bone or muscle or ligament, pause, accept, and move on. And as we scale up the lower leg, we eventually encounter the calf muscles. These are often hard from the bombardment of gravity, but also from maybe tiredness or poor posture. So take the heat and light of your mind inside those muscles, soften them, warm them, and then slide up into your knee joints. Make space inside them, heat, light, soften cartilage. Then we move up or along the thigh, inch by inch, scanning carefully, making sure your beam touches every part of your thigh, the longest bone muscle area in most humans. And eventually we encounter the torso. The base of the torso, this is a congregation of nerve endings. It's the place of birth for women, procreation for men, and elimination for all of us. If we don't eliminate toxins, we die. Very important energetic center. Nearby, you'll find the coccyx, 3 to 5 tiny little bones, which are the remnants of a tail when you were a different kind of mammal. Scan out those. And then the first bone you'll encounter in the spine is the sacrum. And this is a spade-shaped bone designed to help us carry weight, not only our own weight, but the weight of others and objects. Scan up that. Then we come to the lumbar spine. These are chunky bones separated by white discs. Take the heat and light of your mind into those cartilage discs and soften them, and start to climb up the back of the body in the center. Bone, disc, up behind the intestines, wildly filtering all your food and retaining the nutrients, expelling the toxins. Bone, disc, up behind your solar plexus, the center of gravity of your body, just below your breastbone. Bone, disc, up behind your principal breathing muscle, the diaphragm. Bone, disc, and eventually you encounter the rib cage, and inside all of your vital organs, but the most magnificent is your heart, pumping away, emanating electromagnetic vibrations 60 times stronger than the brain. Climb up behind your heart, bone, disc, and in the top part of your chest, your lungs, flickering away, purifying the oxygen so that you can live and thrive. Climb up behind your lungs, bone, disc, bone, disc, bone, disc. And eventually you come to the notch on the back of your neck. You can reach up and touch it if you like. And from here on up, the cervical spine goes up inside the skull, bone, disc, and eventually we come to the top of the spine, which is the atlas joint. And this is where the skull pivots. And we have up to 10,000 different head orientations and facial expressions at our disposal, making us master communicators. And there you have it. Above is your crown of your head going up into the sky. Your feet are going down into the earth. And in just a short time, 20 odd minutes, you have made a huge difference to your spine, lengthening it by at least 1 centimeter, purely with the power of your laser mind. When you detect the vibrations of my bell, allow your eyelids to float open and gaze softly ahead. Wonderful. So if you feel as good as I do after just 20 minutes of visiting your inner core, then please come back again tomorrow and look out into the visual, intellectual world from this place of strength, from this anchorage. You're anchored with your breath, which has slowed down now. Your shoulders have dropped. your rhythm has changed, and your outer body awareness. So you're aware of everything around you through every skin pore, and your spine lengthened, beautifully supple, towering up into the sky. Please have a wonderful day staying back in this incredible resource, your human entity, your mind, your body, your spirit. Have a great day, and I'll see you tomorrow.